My phone just talked to me. It was recording in progress. Did it tell you it was a recording in progress?
It said I had to continue to hit the recording. I had to continue recording. Yeah.
That's new.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
probably good. In case somebody doesn't know that they're being recorded, that would be awkward.
Yeah. Right.
I know.
Like we would know on a Zoom call.
I know, no kidding. So this weekend was Memorial Day weekend, and that meant, of course, all the things that Memorial Weekend means and is supposed to mean, which we kind of talked about last week. And anyway, we did see some of our family this weekend, and everybody's asking me about the real estate market, and I love my family. They're great. And everybody's trying to like time their retirement and everything else, right? So they're like, the market can't keep going like this. What's happening? Why is it? And I know they watch the videos, right? So this person knows that this is for them. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. In a different way. Like if I explain things in the first way and it doesn't work, maybe I'll explain it in another way, right? So I want you to kind of jump in wherever you would like to jump in. Okay. Now, Rick and I
Sounds
do
good.
not rehearse these calls ahead of time. And like days like today, I don't even tell Rick what we're going to talk about, because if we rehearse it, then it might be weird. It might come out a little bit awkward. So he has like no idea what we're talking about. Okay. So we're talking about why the market is the way it is, and how long is this going to go on for? This is ridiculous.
It's a hot topic. Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay. So what I tell people, and I want you to tell me if you have anything to add to this or if you think I'm incorrect or something like that. Okay. I won't take it personally. So in my opinion, the reason why the market is the way that it is because of interest rates, record low. I mean, somebody's average payment right now seems to be like $3,000 to $3,600 a month is kind of what I'm seeing as a first
pretty
home
nice
buyer.
house. Yeah.
And they have a good, they have like live in a good place, and they're putting 20% down. People are like, the foreclosures are coming. And I'm like, I don't really think there's any foreclosures coming. I mean, there might be. I don't know. I mean, I know a hell of a lot about foreclosures, that's for sure. I don't pretend to know a lot about things that I don't know anything about. Real estate, I know a lot about this stuff. Okay, it's been doing it.
You do. Yep.
So, people are like, "Oh, the foreclosures are going to come, and it's going to mess up the market." It's like, do you really think, like after the last mortgage crisis, and now this whole situation is completely different? People are putting in
way different
tens of thousands of dollars of their down payment. They're even paying over from their own cash to make up the difference with the appraisal or adjust their loan. Like these people, and their payments are affordable. Their payments are like a little bit more than rent, and they get to own their house.
Right.
So where the hell are they foreclosed on? I don't understand.
So let me jump in real fast on this. Here's the key difference, because you and I have a history of these things, right? This is not our first rodeo.
That's how we met.
Yeah. So you look at the market in 2004 to 2008. Take that 4-year period, right?
I like to black it out, but go on.
Yeah, those are the days of the stated income, stated assets, zero down types of products, right? Look, we have to know that every buyer who's been buying a home, here's the magic word, they qualified. They actually can make the payment, right?
Yeah, because back then, people, they couldn't make the payment because they started at a teaser rate, especially like
that was
1%,
part of it.
1% teaser rate, and then in 3
stated
years,
income.
Then it went up to 5%. So their payment went from $1,500 a month to $6,000 a month. I mean, duh, you can't.
Right.
Yeah.
So think about this number. Here's why it's so different. This is why I talk about with people when they have the same question all the time. Back in that period of time we just talked about, Fannie Mae did a survey. These are staggering numbers. They found out that 35% of the home buyers who were buying a home during that period never qualified to make that payment. They had not enough income to make that payment because they were stated income types of loans. That was the market in those days. So think about that. In any industry, real estate or otherwise, If 35% of the people buying a product couldn't afford to make the payments after they bought it, what do you think would happen to that product?
Yeah, it's on
Right?
sale. Yeah.
And so eventually that catches up with them and they can't make their payments. And here we go. All these houses, they're going into default, short sales, and so on and so forth. That's what drives that. So we have to just know that every buyer who's buying a house now, and every buyer who's bought a house in the last dozen years actually qualified for the payment. They had the income, the credit, the assets to make that payment.
They're like super qualified. I mean,
Yeah, so they're not going anywhere.
people don't realize like how many hoops you have to jump through to get qualified. Like you've got to have a steady income. You have to be there
Right.
for a certain period of time.
Right.
You know, if you have any pimples on your credit report, you have to explain them, you know?
Yeah, and also I think to add to that too, though, Megan, what people don't see yet is that we had this big refinance boom, right? So people were lowering their payments. There's some crazy low payment on the refinance, and now they're doing a lot of cash out refinances to do what? Improve their homes, right? I mean, you know, I'm in the middle of trying to do a remodel in my house. It is absolutely just, it's so hard because we can't get a return phone call. We can't get stuff. We can't get appliances. We can't get stuff, right? And so people are putting money into their homes, and guess what? They're not going to sell now.
Right.
Okay. So we have all that dynamic going on in the marketplace. And so that's why, you know, I think we both agree on this. There is no imminent foreclosure wave coming.
I believe you're completely correct. And I'm completely correct about that. And I just like, I can't see that. Okay. So let's move on to next topic. So we talked about the reason why the market's so good is that interest rates are historically low. They're so low. Right. Then we talked about how we're not going to see a foreclosure wave coming. So people trying to predict the downfall of the market. Right. My only concern being me is that, you know, the interest rates, obviously they have to go up. They have to go up in order
they will
for
at some point.
Because right now what people don't understand, but you know, that you've explained before, is that you know, our whole housing industry, the sales anyway, the loans and everything is all being bought up by the government right now to support this.
To shore up the market.
Yeah, shore up the market. So that's a little bit scary because if it's not good enough to go out on the market and be bought up by investors, and your government is basically owning all of your houses, that's a little bit scary.
Yeah, and by the way, that number is in the billions. Okay, the government is buying billions of dollars of MBS to be able to support these low rates, because the reality is there's no
securities.
I'm sorry, mortgage-backed, right. So there's no market to support these low rates. So the government is buying up the mortgage-backed securities to keep those rates low, and it's literally into the billions of dollars that they're investing in that.
Because
so we think that's going to continue.
When COVID started, we were starting to have a little problema with that, right? Remember the interest
we had that spike. Yeah.
And then they kept having to go up because you couldn't find buyers in the mortgage-backed security market to buy those loans and to put them in their portfolios. They were like, why don't we buy this loan at 2.5%? That's stupid. We're not going to do it. And so the government came and wiped the slate clean and bought all the loans. But now they've sort of kept their hands in that pot. So that's, you know, that's a little bit weird, because I'm just like, if it's not marketable on the free market and the government's doing it all, that just seems a little strange to me. Okay. That's weird. I feel like that's a part of the legs on the table that is very wobbly. But I still don't think that's going to lead to the downfall of anything. I think it's going to lead to the interest rates going up so that these mortgages can be sold in the investor market and start to make sense for people.
I realize that the Fed can't control the flow of that, right? So if things start to get out of hand, they just turn the spigot back on, start buying some more. So they're not going to let this. The difference between this economy and previous economies is that the government now really does control a lot more of that to keep things in balance. So it doesn't get out of whack and go crazy, because inflation is not our friend. And if you can't keep these rates low, then that's just not good for the economy, right? So it's really It's driven by what's going to happen in the economy. And by the way, these low rates are great for the economy, right? I mean, everything is affected by that. Credit card rates, car loans, personal loans, it's not just mortgages.
Right. Well, like, the housing market, people don't realize when you buy a house, sell a house, you employ like tons of people are employed because you're moving and you're buying furniture and you're getting appliances and you're doing things to your house. And
that's right.
Yeah. Okay. So we talked about record low interest rates, no foreclosure rate coming. The wobbly leg of the table is the whole mortgage-backed securities market. And then I'm going to talk about a word that we hear realtors say a lot, and it's the word inventory. You think about inventory, it's like at Costco. What do they have on their shelves? Do they have that in inventory? Well, we kind of use the same terminology in real estate. And it's really the absorption rate, right? So like if 100 houses went on the market today, how long would it take for them to all be sold? And that is how we determine as realtors if it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. It's so easy. So I'm gonna do this from my phone here. I'm going to share the infographic that I just shared with you.
Okay, cool.
Okay. It's from KCM. That's the Keeping Current Matters. That's something I subscribe to because they're super smart and super easy to figure out.
Yep.
And so this has been the scale that we've always used. I mean, I used this when we sold bank repos. We had to predict the market because what in the hell was going on and how many houses were coming up for sale. So right here it said, if there's less than 6 months of inventory, it's a seller's market and the prices will appreciate. If there's between 6 and 7 months, that means that it's pretty neutral and it'll just appreciate at sort of a normal rate, right? And then if it's more than 7 months, then that means that the housing market is starting to like stack up. There's too many homes in inventory and the rate of appreciation is going to slow down. So people are going to have to depreciate, lower their values, lower their asking prices in order to get their house under contract. So here's the formula we use. Are you ready?
Yep.
You have a pen? I'm sorry, I should have had you get a pen.
You know what? I don't have my my notepad with me right now. I can get it though. I'll write it down here.
Don't get it. Everybody else.
I'll get it right. I'll put it on my phone here. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Now I pulled stats for Orange County. So I said in Orange County, I'm sorry, my throat has like a bug in it today. In Orange County, and I didn't say north or south, I just said Orange County. How many single family residents that are for sale and that have been on the market for 30 days? Okay, no HOA. And price between $650 and $750, which is kind of a normal first-time home buyer price now.
Yep.
Orange County, houses that are for sale that have been on the market 0 to 30 days that are $650 to $750 that have no HOA. Guess how many there were? I said, guess how many? 122.
Okay.
That's not very many.
Yeah,
now,
considering how big it is.
So you take the 122, put that aside. That's how many are for sale. That doesn't mean pending or coming soon. So then I switch that criteria and I just switch it around, take off the active little box there, and I check sold. How many of those homes with those criteria sold in the last 30 days in Orange County? The number was 119.
In all of Orange County?
Yes. So we have 122 for sale in the last 30 days, and we have 119 that have sold in the last 30 days. Okay. So that puts our absorption rate at 1 month and 2 days. So that means if nothing came up for sale in the next month and 2 days, that there would be 0 houses on the market in that price range. So that means that, what was the absorption? It was if it was less than 6 months.
6
then
months, right?
Yeah,
It was a buyer, seller's market.
right. So we have quite a ways to go before we have
Wow.
6
So you're
months.
saying is inventory levels are 30 days, not
Yes.
30 days. That's
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, 32
Wow.
days. Yeah.
When you consider that 6 months out is still considered a seller's market, we're a fraction of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, we're like 20, we would have to grow our inventory by 80% to become.
Yeah, we're 5 times more when it is right now. 4 to 5 times more than it is right now.
That's right.
Even stay within that 6 month period.
Right. And even if I change, even if I change the, if I say, 750 to 850, there's 69 houses for sale. 69. Okay.
It's insane.
Let me just refresh that. Yeah, 69.
So that really explains why we get 20, 30 offers on a home.
That's right. Okay, now I'm going to say 0 to 30 days closed for 750 to 850, and there's 182. 182. So you take 69, you divide it by 182. Let me just do it. This is so ridiculous.
Yeah, let me see here.
Calculator, my little calculator.
Yep.
Okay. 69.
30, almost 38%.
Yeah. Divided by, you and I do math differently. 182. Yeah, 0.37. So basically, you have like less than 1 day's worth of inventory. Do you understand how I just did that? Yeah, you have less than 1 day's inventory of houses for sale in Orange County from 750
at that price range.
850.
Yeah. And
I just said, just a single family house. I didn't put in I've got stuff here in Huntington Beach, Garden Grove, Westminster, Anaheim, Mission Viejo, Stanton. There's Westminster. I mean, there's not even much for.
But it's that way in all price ranges. I had one over the weekend. You think of the higher price ranges that slows down. Right. I have one right now, another offer out with a different buyer, but at $1.6 million, there's 9 offers in this house and asking prices $1.6 million.
Yeah, exactly.
What the heck? Right?
Yeah, if I go 850 to 950, there's only 56. It's like it's not getting any better here. The numbers are going down.
Right.
56 for sale and 174 sold. So you take.
It's getting worse.
That's right. Unbelievable. So that's it, people.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's not going away anytime soon.
That's right.
We are 80% away in inventory to make it even close to a neutral market. We're so far away from it that there's no, in my opinion, there's just, trying to time things maddening. It's like, okay, so let's say you timed this into being a buyer's market. That means that we would have, 90% more inventory. Like, what the hell year is that going to happen? I don't even know, No
time soon.
What will be the interest rates then? It's like, buy your house, enjoy it, live in it, be happy there. If it's affordable and it's safe and it makes you, live the best life, have kids, have puppies.
Right.
I don't.
Right. Well, I was thinking, I'm sorry, go ahead, Megan. Go ahead. No, I was just thinking about that foreclosure question, right? And again, compared to the last cycle from a dozen years ago. Right now, if somebody loses their job compared to 12 years ago, if someone lost their job 12 years ago, they were 90 days away from getting a notice of default. And then there you go. Got to sell the house or do something, right? Move or get out or make it up. Nowadays, it's an automatic 6 months forbearance without making a payment, no harm to your credit. Automatic like that, 6 months. One phone call, 6 months, and you're good for 6 months. And then there's a 6-month extension beyond that. So if a homeowner really gets in trouble, they have really a full year of not making any payments at a minimum without any consequences whatsoever.
Right.
And most buyers within that 12-month period will find a way to remake their payments again, right? To get a new job, they'll figure it out, something will happen, and they'll have more equity by then anyway. So,
Right.
so we're not in a situation where if people, let's assume the worst case, that people get in trouble and they can't make their payments.
Right.
There's rescue, there's bailouts. They're not going to go into foreclosure. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so. So I just pulled up, I used my MLS, which is now partners finally with all the other MLSs and multiple listing service in California. So now I can
finally.
And so I pulled up houses that are for sale that are bank repos. And guess how many I pulled in the
what
whole
area?
of California, the whole state.
Whole state? Okay, how many?
64. There's 64 repos. Now, if I say, okay, what about in Orange County? There's 5.
5 in the entire county. There's how many homes do you think in Orange County? How many millions of homes in Orange County?
I have no idea.
Yeah, a lot.
Bernardino. Let's see. Oh, I spelled that. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I don't even know the names of these counties. Oh, here's one in Escondido.
Okay.
Here's one in Los Angeles. It's $5.5 million. Lancaster, San Rafael, Magala, Pinion Hills, Corning, Mecca. There's one in Oakland, still $500,000 for a little tiny. I mean, Oakland's pretty bustling, you know.
So the foreclosures that some of those towns you mentioned are way in the outskirts, in the middle of nowhere. Like Pinion, that's in the middle. I mean, it's probably a dirt road to the house. It's so far out.
Yeah.
It's not even in the city. Yeah.
Let's see. And yeah, I mean, I don't really, there's some like at the base of the mountains. Chico, you could, isn't one of your go to school up there? Chico, not anymore. Oh yeah. So, 64 in the whole state. And guess what? California is like the land of milk and honey to investors. Okay. Number one, you as a regular person, you're never going to get your hands on that foreclosure because these guys
no.
they know the game, they know the players, they know the game, they're buying the foreclosures.
Plus, and they have the cash.
Yeah, and you don't know what you're doing. Why would you go in there and buy a foreclosure? I've heard of people buying the first on a house and not realizing that there's a second. Like,
yeah, they didn't know.
Or just buy a house and you got to get the people out of there. I mean, with the laws the way that it is right now, you'll never get
people out.
Yeah, forget it.
They'll be there for a year.
Yeah. So I know. So this is why the market is the way that it is. It is the lack of homes for sale, the killer interest rates, and there's no people that are buying realize that there's no imminent change coming. So
that's correct.
I would say like I said, if you find a house that you love, that makes sense to you, that's affordable, it's safe, and it's not going to like make you miserable with home repairs and all this kind of stuff, just go for it and just get to your happy place, because I don't know how long it's going to take to build this inventory like that. I don't see it happening.
Won't happen this year.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take a long time for that to build up. I don't think we're going to be out of this for anytime soon.
No.
I think it could take years, actually.
I do too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you.
Good stuff, by the way. Yeah, appreciate you as well.
Next week, you'll have to think of a topic, okay?
We'll do one.
We'll be on the
Sounds
lookout.
good.
Okay.
Pressure's on.
I know. All right. Have a good day.
Thanks, Megan. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.